Hi everybody, I'm Danny Gatton, and I'm glad to be doing my second video for Arlen Roth. This particular one will be on nothing but rhythm guitar. A lot of different types of rhythm guitar. There'll be blues and country and a little soul and a lot of shuffles and things. And the first thing we're going to get into is this thing that I was just doing, which happens to be what I call the two-note wonder, the little thing that fits everything. Like if we're playing in G, three-chord blues that we were just doing, it's a F and a B right here, right in the middle, and you take it like from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, up a half step to the 4 chord, up a half step, and walk it down to E, to A, D, G, B flat, A flat, G. Now, you can also do that same inversion up high, but the notes are reversed. Very same exact thing up here, same 2 strings. Now that time I put a little different turnaround on that. I walked it from G to F to E to B flat to A to D to like an A minor with a flat and then back to G again. So let's play that with a band one time and work that out. I'm going to throw in another string. I'll make it a 3-string wonder instead of a 2-string. You ready, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we can throw in some different turnarounds at the end of these blues changes. Like when we get to the last part, rather than going G, F, E, A, D. Right after that, we can go like G major 7, to B flat major 7, to E flat major 7. And then you throw an A flat in there. So it sounds like. And you can use an augmented chord on the end. So if Arlen would come out here, I'd like to try that with in a 4-piece format. Come on out here, Roadhog. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Another thing I'd like to get into right now is something that I kind of touched on in the earlier video that I did for Hot Licks a couple of years ago. And that's how to comp chords like the B3 organ players do on, like on Hammond B3s. It works better on that than anything else. And I originally learned this stuff off a record called 7-Eleven by the Gone All-Stars. And evidently that was a session band in New York at that time. Who was on it, I have no idea. But I sure learned a lot of organ stuff off of that. Just basically how to do things like this. I'll play it first without messing with the tone controls. You can see what I'm talking about. It's a shuffle thing like... Now you can also do that up here, like in a E9 sort of inversion. The way to make it sound cool though is to put the pickup, both pickups on tone control off and turn on the vibrato, but I want to play this for you first before we do that. So here it is, clean. All right, Jay, turn on the vibrato. You guys want to play? In E, go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's kind of how all that stuff goes. The B3 comp fits everything. Something else I'd like to touch on here are the use of major sevens to accent particular things like that. I think I'll play like a little 3-chord thing in G, for instance. Just a little blues thing, kind of like what we were doing a minute ago. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the things I was doing there in the accented part is like, it's an F major 7 against G, right? So you're playing along in G. It's a real neat little chord, and the way I kind of discovered that was like going from the 1 to the 4, from G to C. That was kind of neat, and I just happened to hit an F major 7 and said, that sounds pretty good to me, and I'll give that a shot. Right, Jay? And you can do like a B flat major 7 to an F major 7 real fast. So it's like a to a G. It's like a G6 chord with a 7 on the bottom. I warn you in advance, man. I didn't study guitar very long, and I don't know the names of a lot of these things. I know what they look like, I know what they sound like, and I know where they work. And that you guys might have a problem like that too, and ladies too, of course. So I imagine that's a G13 chord, I think. Really doesn't matter to me, but it sounds like this. As a transition to an augmented, so like a C9, to another, diminished. And then I could throw in an F major against G, which kind of sounds like that. But right here's an F major against a G. A little out of tune, but so what? So I'll take that chord, that major chord, give that about 3 pounds of torque, and play it like a suspended C, and throw an E on the top. Lenny Bro used to play a lot of stuff like that. Lenny was a friend of mine. He didn't show me that particular thing, but I picked it off of one of his records. So that works very nicely against a G. And this other little chord here, this is like some form of a G chord with a 7th on the bottom, to the 3rd on the bottom, excuse me. So you kind of have a G6 or an E minor with a G7 on the bottom. It comes out like so. And as a transition, you can go to like a C sharp 13 to a C13 to an augmented. And you can do this F thing. Walk it down and step. Lord knows what the name of that one is too. It's almost the same thing here. Kind of a minor version of it though. It would be a minor. And then I did this version of an A. And occasionally I'll use that in a minor inversion. And this. that's kind of like one of the old-timey power chords. Back in the old Bill Haley days, I started playing in '54, so I learned all the old vintage rock and roll when it was top 40. And while I'm thinking of this, I'll just throw that in there because that's the original power chord for me. Like, that's a power chord. If I did that in E, it would look like... Arlen probably knows what this really technically is. Here's another one that Chet Atkins, the country guys, use as a country power chord. As in an E inversion. If I was going to go to A, I could do it like so. It's kind of like an open ninth chord. And you can take this chord. It's cool with open strings. And you can play suspended chord, like a suspended A chord with your thumb, which technically you're not supposed to do, but since I have one, I like to use it. And I can use a D major 7 and a F major 7 to a suspended E. I realize that sounds kind of disjointed, but that's the way things run through my head. So let me play a little bit. I'm going to play these substitute changes, the major 7s and the Fs against Gs and all these particular things. And let's try a little something again. Same G thing. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope that will make some sense to you if you fool around with that. How's that work for you, Jay? Come over here a second. Look into that camera. This is Jay Montrose, my guitar tech, and he needs to know all this stuff, and he always asks me about it, and I never show him. He's the best welder on the planet. Shows me how to weld, and I'll show him how to play rhythm guitar. How about that, Jay? He's going to play a little blues for us in a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine? All tuned up?
Yep.
Good chords?
There's another thing I want to get into here right now. A lot of people aren't familiar with the old Bill Black combo that had a record called Saxy Jazz that was out 58, 59. But they had a hit called Smokey. And all the songs had this particular kind of rhythm guitar going on underneath of it. And it's cut real dry and it sounds tuned down. I don't know if it's like a 6-string Dan Electro bass or whatever, but it's their shuffle tunes. Turn the reverb off a second, because this is supposed to be really flat sounding. And you do stuff like... That's a real neat thing to do on a 6-string bass. In a couple of years, I've been trying to figure out a way to use that in a song, but I haven't hit the right song yet. Everything's usually so daggone busy in the rhythm section. My fault, of course, that I never get to use that. Okay, there's something that I should have told you earlier, that doing the vibrato thing, playing the organ, shuffle comping, it's really critical, the speed of the vibrato. And for a medium shuffle like we were just doing, you hear that pulse? They're like it's like an 8th note pulse against the quarter note. So when you take these little pauses in here, you got the thing pulsing. And so on and so on. So Arlen's up here again, and I'm going to play this B3 shuffle stuff along with some of this Bill Black rhythm. And we're going to make up a song right now, name it after you, if you'll send us $20 with the picture on it. Right?
Okay.
Why, yeah, I ought to.
Why?
Oh, yeah, dirty.
Do it.
Next time we're on Conan, you better turn my mic on, Pilgrim. This is going to be me. We're going to have a meeting. What's it going to sound like, John? Yeah. Yeah, dirty. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to throw in a lead lick once in a while. This tape's being done in March of '94, so last year, 1993, we had an album out called Cruisin' Deuces on the Elektra label. And one of the tunes that was on that record, there's a thing called Sky King that I wrote that's like a tribute to Billy Butler, who played honky tonk with Bill Doggett. And the little guitar thing, the thing that sets the whole thing up is like this. I showed you this chord earlier, but I showed you it all the way across. This time it's like an E7 with the third on the bottom. and it's a D flat minor on the top, or an E6, depending on how you like to dissect these things. But this chord functions quite the same way as, well, it's going to be tough to do it in E unless I do it up high. That move is there, only it happens to be down here. So if you were to play that change and just keep what they call the dead thumb going, just pulsing like... There's another little chord you can use in there. I had stumbled on this a few years back. I guess the source doesn't matter. But it's like from going from the 4 chord, which would be an A, to E, because we're in E right now. So that just kind of works up here. It's just a little prettier voicing. But if you do it low, like I'm doing it here in the open position, if I leave an open D string in there, I have D, A, D flat, E, which to me kind of is a combination of going from the 4 chord to A to E, and going from D to E. Actually a D major 7. So when you put them together, it sounds like... Go to the 4 chord, you just kind of play it like a minor. Like so. So, the thing I have to add to all of this is playing this bottom line with it, which I kind of borrowed from Honky Tonk. I think we all beg, borrow, and steal a few licks here and there, don't we? You too, Mr. Potter. So, this is how the bottom line to Sky King goes. Now, the bottom line could just be... But no, for me that ain't good enough. I got to get the harmony in there. So, I'm playing it like this. Let's say you're going, and you want to put the harmony to it, you play an open D, which is, this is nothing more than part of an A chord, which in full-blown form in this position would look like this. But you just look at bits and pieces of these things. So to play the high part, you just got the 7th in there, so it's like... That brings to mind the old New Orleans piano style of playing things like this, where you would piano players would kick the accents with the right hand and walk the bass with the left, so it would be like... can play things like that slower, the other, a whole different feel for that piano thing. Like if we were playing a blues, a slow blues, like... So there's a tune on another album that we did called 88 Elmira Street that has that kind of feel. I can't even think of the name of it. I write them. Doesn't mean I have to remember the titles of the things. So I may need Mr. Roth out here one more time so that we can combine all these little rhythm things, and hopefully it'll make some sense to you. Okay, well, I'm going to play this this wonderful slow blues thing, and Arlen is going to make a bunch of crap to go over it. It goes like this. Are we enjoying this? Are we going to take this? Maybe I should buy this tape and put it out.
Yes.
I'll put this tape out myself. After I do that. Ready? Here we go. Okay, Arlen has just severely chastised me for not slowing this piano thing down so that other folks may learn this. He claims this is really advanced. I don't think it's so tough, but I'll slow it down and show you how it goes. This is like the piano, right hand of the piano going. It's constantly keeping that going. While you got this bass line going. The trick is to combine those two things and keep them going. And that really basically is just a matter of practice and sitting here and hammering on this thing. And you can kind of start doing it just by playing. I mean, you could actually just play the quarter notes with it. To get a feel for it. Real slow, it's like... There's a funny ending chord, isn't it? They ain't showing you what it is either, pal. See, this is the one that's hard. Especially at this speed. If you play it real fast, those clams will blow on by and nobody will ever even hear them. Especially if you use a lot of distortion. But no, we're doing it the hard way, real clean. Something like that, but of course it's much faster than that sort of thing. Sure is a lot more fun to play in E though. Something like that, along those lines. Okay, there's one other little thing that's neat stuff to play. Most everybody likes to play Chuck Berry, I know I do. And there's some cool ways to do that, and they're pretty much piano grooves also. Wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Johnson didn't have a lot to do with that. Just playing stuff like, I'll do a little something in A. Play. Okay. My band and I have a particular way of combining the two versions of Memphis. The first one being Lonnie Mac's and the other one being the vocal version. Now, the instrumental version kind of stays on the one chord and goes. But the vocal version actually is in D there, the song being in G. Something like that. So we'll try to mix those up for you. And it'll start like this. Okay, you know, we're purposely not really playing any tunes. We're trying to keep this real simple, just basic 3-chord, 12-bar blues kind of things. So right now, we're going to play kind of a funky Motown kind of groove, and Arlen's going to play some Fender lead guitar over this. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 1. Right now, I think what we'll do is do a little jazz big band, Freddie Green style comping of chords. There again, we're just going to do another little blues thing. We'll play it in G. I'll just start it off real simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's a basic 3-chord thing, and we're doing the old G to F, to E, to B flat, to A, to E flat, to D. Turn around. Maybe I should say that even slower. To G, to F, to E, to B flat, to A, to E flat, to D, and then this funny chord sometimes. I have no idea what that is and don't care, but it's cool. And then that, just back to a G. So, a good way to start doing this is you can either take a G major or a G major 7 and kind of do a walk-up like this. And this is, you could pretty much go the same thing, you just deaden the A string and the little E string, so it comes out. My dad showed me that stuff when I was a little kid because he used to play in a big band back in the 30s, and that's the way he played, like Freddie Green. He didn't play a whole lot of lead, but he sure knew how to play rhythm. So at the end of this tape, we're going to get together and have a little jam session, have Arlen and Jay Montrose and Tim Berry back here on the drums and John Previty on the bass, and we're going to have a good blowout in a couple of minutes. So let me show you a couple of things first before we do that. These are chords that you will hear on organ trio records, like stab chords. Like if we're playing in C, for instance, and you're playing like an organ thing. About the kind of that speed. This is the part I'm talking about. Now, a chord like that is like taking a suspended G chord against a C and adding a B flat to the top. Play me a C note, John. And I can use it up here also against C. So you hear that as an accent chord in lots of organ records. I'll play that in context in a minute. Another thing I should like to show you is a substitute change for G, and it's like a D minor. You can always play minors against majors as substitutions. So if we had a G chord sitting here, I could play D minor against it. And when you play this D minor up here, I will spread the thing out and take the D note and make it an E. So it sounds like in a G inversion like this. And then I will walk this thing down. It's kind of a little walking thing. Then you can go up in half steps. That being a C chord, I have put a B flat in it to add a low seventh to it. That's an interesting little thing you can do too, is take these 13th chords and play them in 1.5 step intervals, like a G, B flat, D flat, E, and G, as a turnaround or an accented kind of thing. So let's comp a little thing back here, and I'll play some of this stuff. You ready? Yeah. No, let's do it in G this time. 2, 1, 2, 3. For me, it's very difficult to break things like this down into little pieces because I never play them the same way twice. And I'm an ear player. That's pretty obvious. I have no clue what it is I'm doing. I just know what it sounds like and how it works. So but that's part of the thrill about learning how to play music, is to learn things the hard way. For me, because if you do learn them the hard way, you're less likely to forget them. And by all means, don't learn more things than you know how to use. Because if you do, it's just knowledge that will do you no good whatsoever. Better you should learn a couple of things, explore every possibility of using those things before you move on to something else. So, how about them apples? I think maybe we'll put on the flat top and do a little country picking. Right now, we're going to fool around with a little bluegrass rhythm here. It seems like a lot of guys that I know that are really good lead players really have no clue how you play acoustic rhythm for bluegrass. But it's basically pretty simple. A lot of it has to do with a snap in your wrist. But the basic thing is, like, we're playing in G again. Everything's in G today for some reason or another. It's a good key, isn't it, Arlen? Good key. We like that key. So I'm playing a G chord like this, and I've got a D and a G on the top, as opposed to, never cared for the third in there, too generic. It's a little spookier. So when you play this kind of stuff, you have to alternate between the G and the D, like the bass notes, like. It sounds corny, but that's the way it goes slow. And you can throw in little left-hand finger pulls. Now that looks pretty involved, and actually in a way it is, because I started out going. Now you can do a downstroke and then an upstroke. Or you can do it all upstrokes. Matter of fact, if you have to do it real fast, that works good sometimes. That's cheating, but that's the manly way. And if you want to make it real fancy, then you make it go bong-a-ching-a-bong-a-ching, as opposed to just bong-ching. You getting this? Where's Mr. Montrose? He needs to know this. Real slow, that's it. Well, you get it up to tempo, it's like. And then you throw in all the other things, and it sounds. So, Arlen and myself are going to attempt to play Pike County Breakdown, which he doesn't know, and I know on the banjo. I'm not playing that today, am I? I'm playing this J200 that I like so much. So,
I'll know it soon.
Yeah, you will. No, learn it with us, won't they? 1, 2, 3. Power chord, man. Yeah. There's one other thing we're going to do today, and I'm going to play the kind of rhythm that Roy Buchanan played on Lonesome Fugitive. But actually, before I do that, I should really like to thank Fred Stewart and the Fender Custom Shop for building this wonderful Hellocaster for me. Because it's a winner, boy. It's real pretty. It's so nice, I shouldn't even play it. I'll make a clock out of it. Put it on the wall. No, that wouldn't be nice, would it? You too can have one of these. For $50 million, you can have one. Thank you, Ollie. All right, shall we? Okay, I'd like to thank you folks for looking at this video today. Hope you learned something from it. Sorry I can't slow it down more than that. I tried, and it can't. So, I like it. Johnny Bree. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.